Mr. Hampson, if there was one thing that you wanted people to know about you, what would it be?
Now that's easy. Like, this is not an act. Like, you know, I think people see like my class and how, I don't know what words I would use, silly, stupid, intelligent, awesome, sarcastic. Like, this is how I am outside of school. Like, I'm not performing. I am this dumb at home. I am this sarcastic at home, much to the chagrin of my family at times. But this is me, and I think that as a teacher, I think it's more effective to be sincere than to be someone that you're not. Okay. I think that what I would want students to take away, and actually it has really nothing to do with history, is that in the grand scheme of things, students aren't defined by numbers. They're not defined your GPA, your class rank, your SAT score, how your all those numbers that might get you into James Madison or UVA or Virginia Tech, Mary Washington, wherever you want to go to school. It doesn't define you as a person, right? I mean, I think there's so many different signs of intelligence, right? Intelligence is not because you took U.S. Virginia history and got an A. I've had lots of people take U.S. Virginia history and get an A, and they're not nearly, I don't think, as smart as someone who maybe gets a C, right? It's just in that class. There's much more to life than standardized tests and grade point averages and things like that. And I hope that throughout the course of being in class that they understand that they have a lot more to offer the world than just that.
My role model is my mother. My mother wasn't a teacher. My mother, she was my mom, but a lot of the values that I possess as a person, and a lot of the values that I like to instill in some of my students, is the things I learned from my mother. Things like, being polite. Things like working hard. Things like the importance of education. I was the first member of my family to go to college, and my mom told me at a very young age that was important. And I think that, so if I'm looking up to anyone, I certainly would choose her. Well, I chose teaching because one, I do have a passion for the American story and history in general, and I just wanted to, I felt like my personality, I feel like I had the ability to show students like yourself that, the past is not boring. It is not a collection of dates and dead figures, that we can bring it alive. And also I get to spend my day, 7.5 hours a day, basically, being goofy. And I think touching the lives of young people, which I think I've been led to believe I do that competently.
This is really nice to do. It's not like a text message or a tweet or, I was writing. So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking of I need a theme, right? I need a theme. So my theme becomes historical ripoffs. So I literally address this letter, I write the date, I address the letter to my wife, and I start talking about how the Dutch purchased Manhattan from native tribes for $24, and how the United States purchased 828,000 square miles of land from the French for $15 million. And I get this all the way up to the point where, to June 4th, 2004, and how, what I refer to as the greatest heist in American history. My hope for all of you is this: that at some point in your life, you find something or someone that makes you as happy as my wife makes me. Because she is the most beautiful, unbelievable human being on the planet. And it might be, whatever it is, everyone should feel this way, that I feel today. So what I want to do is,
Carl Stover.
What
was your favorite thing about Mr. Hampson's class?
My favorite thing about Mr. Hampson's class was all of the animals he taught us about at the beginning of class that I never would have heard of otherwise. I learned in Mr. Hampson's class a few things. I learned that there are some things that smart people just don't debate, such as Lucky Charms is the best cereal ever, Titanic is the worst movie ever. I also learned how to be patient, being in a class full of children, for lack of a better term. Cut.
What was your first impression of Mr. Hampson?
Well, I remember when I first walked in, because I got the schedule changed, and he introduced me to a class, and I was like, alright, he seems pretty cool. And then I started to sit down, he started screaming and yelling, and I was like, who is this crazy teacher? But no, my first impression was, what kind of class did I get into? because I had no idea what, like, I didn't know what was going on. But then, after like the first week of having him, I realized that he was the best teacher ever, and that he is hilarious, and I will always have him as my favorite teacher. Oh boy. Well, his stories seemed very real, and they were very entertaining. And you learned a lot about animals that I never knew about, like the blobfish and the poisonous butterfly that was used in the Revolutionary War, I think it was. I learned more. I didn't just learn history in that class. I learned about animals. I would say it was like history and zoology in one class, and I can't think of a better way to explain these animals than from personal experiences that Hampson showed us.
Would it be better to call it history-zoology?
Yes, because say history-zoology because that.
Mr. Hampson, who is your favorite student?
Well, I mean, favorite student is like favorite child. Your parents lie to you. They tell you and your siblings that they like you all. They love you all the same. They do not. You know who the favorite sibling is. Like in my family, I was the favorite. My brothers know that. I was the favorite for a lot of different reasons. And with students, I'm obligated to say the same thing. Do I like them all the same? No. But I will say that, I like them, some of them. Well, I like all of them. Or do I like somebody else? Yes, but I would never admit it. You just can't do that. It's like saying you love one child over another. Like I think that's like a parent code. Like you just can't do it. But some students are much more rememberable. I don't think that's a word, but maybe it is than others. So who is my favorite? All of them. All of them. Just